Yo, what's going on? I'm Brandon with Yo Dabba Dabba, and today I'm going to explain to you what is a Dabba thermometer. So if you're not aware, getting the ideal temperature of a dab is really the #1 factor to getting a good dab, proper temperature control. And dab thermometers make that effortless. Back in the day, we didn't really know how to properly gauge the temperature of our quartz, so we used various techniques like putting our wrist over it, thinking it's hot enough, or maybe using like a stopwatch and a timer. I heated it up for 20 seconds and I'm waiting 15 seconds and that's gonna give me a good temp, which is all, not accurate at all. There's so many factors involved, so having a dab thermometer is gonna just make sure you get the exact temperature every time. There's a few different ways to measure the temperature of your quartz while it's cooling down. There's like a contact sensor, or most commonly is like an IR gun or infrared gun. Something like this you can buy online or at any home improvement store for about 20 bucks. And this is going to be like a functional dab thermometer. These work by measuring the infrared thermal energy being emitted off each object. So this is a temperature, I'm a temperature, and if I measure me versus the table, I'm going to be a little hotter, right? So this measures that, and after you heat up your banger, you're going to point it at the bottom of the dish or the lower sidewall here. And that's going to be because you're going to have the most concentrate touch points at that location. But you're going to want to measure where you're going to be taking the dab from, not like the very top or anywhere else like that. And this is going to kind of show you the exact temperature. These IR sensors, these cheap ones like that, they work for a lot of ranges, basically like 50 degrees up to 900 degrees. So the sensors inside them can be not as sensitive. So you got a lot of variables, so getting the ideal temp can be a little bit more tricky with one of these cheaper guns versus a different device that maybe is made ideally for dabbing. And I have a couple of those, kind of explain why those work a little bit nicer than these IR guns. So this is a Terp Timer by Octave. It's actually one that we sell because I just like how it functions and pricing overall, but works similar to an IR gun, just a little bit more expensive. And the reason why they charge a little bit more is because of the sensor being used. So the infrared sensor is gonna be calibrated for the dab temperatures, around 400 to 600 degrees versus the larger calibrations for these. This is going to be a little bit more accurate when measuring the temperature of the quartz than this. However, like I said, they both function. I like the Terp Timer. I like just actually placing my banger on top of it. One downside about the Terp Timer is it's very large, and as you can see, it won't go under. But I use like a little jack stand at home. Just place it under. This has a audio and visual display settings where it will tell you when you hit your set temp. I set mine to 550. It goes down, up or down from there, but set it to the ideal temperature and it will let you know when it's there. I like to heat up my banger and then kind of set it there and then get my dab ready, and this will kind of alert me so I don't miss the sweet spot to take my dab. The Terp Timer is great, it functions well. It does have a magnetic base, so it can go on a cabinet or a piece to hang. And then another option, probably the most popular option on the market is gonna be the Dabba Rite. The Dabba Rite's definitely the heady option for all the serious dabbers. There's a Dabba Rite regular and a Dabba Rite Pro, and these have the same basic technology using an IR sensor, but they have a little bit of programming differences that make them maybe a little nicer option for the daily dabber. First, each Dabba Rite is going to have these adjustable arms for the sensor, which is really nice. One, you can get low underneath your rig, so you don't have to worry about using a stand or propping it up. And two, you can get the sidewall. So if you're using a slurper, you're definitely going to want to get on the sidewall more than the base of the bucket, and this allows you to kind of point it at that spot you want it to be. The Dabba regular is a little bit more expensive than like a Terp Timer, but it has that same feature versus like the Pro. The Pro is like, again, more expensive than the regular. It's like double the price point, and it just offers a couple other features. It has actually, like, when you place it underneath your banger, after you take your dab, when you place it here, it's gonna alert you when it hits around 300 degrees, and that's gonna alert you to dunk your slurper so you can keep up with the cleaning of that. The Rite Pros has the app, and you can change some of the features and the colors and the sounds. It's cool, it's just really expensive, it's the only downside, so unless you want to spend extra money, it might not be for you, but both the Rites are going to be great options. Terp Timer, again, and then the IR gun's very functional at a cheap price point. So any of these I would definitely recommend you get, and measure your temperature of your quartz every time to make sure you're just getting that best flavor possible. And that's gonna keep your cleaning of the bangers and everything else better. Another cool, fun option that, you know, just to be aware of is a thermal imaging camera like this. If you're a hobbyist or maybe a home improvement guy, you might already have one of these. These are gonna cost maybe the same price point around the Dabba Rite. This uses a little bit different technology than infrared. It uses thermal imaging to show you the temperature of everything. You kind of see small differences in temperature. What's really cool about these is you can kind of do a little bit of research on how your banger actually cools off. You'll notice that when you heat it up, depending on how you heat it, there might be hot spots or cool spots, and like one part of the banger might cool off faster than the other. Just depending on all that. And the firmware camera lets you kind of see everything versus just that specific spot. Yeah, I mean, definitely check out, make sure you get your dab temperature right. Using a dab thermometer is the #1 way to go. If you have any questions, ask below and I'll try to answer them.